Hi guys. I wanted to do an update video because I've had some very eventful doctor's appointments in the past few days. Yesterday, I had gone to the DMV because I needed a new parking pass, a handicap parking pass. And I get them from my foot doctor. I've had like temporary ones for 7 years now, so every 6 months I had to keep going back to the DMV. And I tried to go yesterday, and it turns out the receptionist at my foot doctor's office wrote the paper wrong. I was like, son of a bitch. And the lady there was a bitch to me, and I was so fed up with it, so I walked out, and then I had therapy that afternoon. I talked to my therapist about it, and she's like, you really need a permanent pass. This is not, this is unacceptable. And so, after my therapy, I went to my primary care doctor's office, and I asked the receptionist, because I wasn't going to waste like a $20 copay if I wasn't gonna get what I came there for. So I asked her, and she was like, well, without a diagnosis, they're just gonna give you a temporary one. I was like, well, fuck. So I went back to my pain clinic doctor, because I was at UVA, and they weren't doing anything that people back at home, they weren't doing anything different than people back at home were doing. And that's frustrating to have to drive 2.5 hours for every doctor's appointment when they're not doing anything different. So I'm trying to get my care back up here. And so I went over there, and I was talking to the receptionist. They know who I am. I've been there for almost 3 years. And I told them, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so they got me in with Stephanie. She's the PA there. The normal doctor, she's kind of harsh, and she likes trigger point injections, which I hate. And so I like to see the PA. She's very, very nice, and she listens to me. She doesn't force things on me. If I don't want to do it, she doesn't make me do it. And so I was talking to her, and I was like, I've been doing this for 7 years now with the handicap parking thing. And so she wrote me a permanent one, which I'm ecstatic about. I don't have to deal with the DMV until 2017. So that's very good. And then I told her, what had been going on with UVA, how, I lost weight, and then they started me on new birth control, and I gained it back, and how my weight changes so much from day to day, because my weight can change by 10 pounds from day to day. She was like, whoa, really? And I was like, yeah, really. So I'm on something for swelling for that, because it is swelling. And I told her about my diet changes, gluten, soy, FODMAP, and lactose free. So, it's not like I'm not trying to feel better. I've done everything that people have suggested for me. And so I also told her I'd been doing research, been trying to find, what is causing this pain. And I told her I think I have EDS, and she's like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And so she had me do some of the finger tests, the pinky back, the thumb to forearm. She looked at my knees, which bow backwards. They, instead of locking in a normal position, they lock backwards, and that's one of the things for EDS. I showed her how I can put my my hand on the table, and then I can pop my, I can't do it without putting pressure on it, but I can pop my elbow to go the other way on both arms. I showed her how I can rotate my foot 180 degrees. I showed her how I can reach my arm up back to my shoulder. I'm really sore from doing all this, so that's why I'm not going through them with you right now. I will do them in another video if you guys are interested in seeing some of that stuff. And then we talked about the bone scan I had like 2.5 years ago when I first got there. And she said I had arthritis, a lot of arthritis in my ankles, but she said that could have been, from my feet. I've had 11 foot surgeries now. And so they kind of brushed that off as my foot surgeries, but she took a look back at it now. She's like, now that I'm looking at it, there's arthritis in your knees and your hips too. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense because they grind all the time. And so she was like, yeah, I can definitely say you have EDS. She can't give me like a formal diagnosis, but she said, the diagnosis isn't gonna change anything. It's not gonna make the disease go away. It's gonna give me a label that'll say, hey, you're not crazy, you're not making this up, but it's not gonna make it go away. And she said, until you get the formal diagnosis, I can still treat you as though you have it, because you do. And so she said the best thing for me is gonna be warm water aquatic therapy, and I love pool therapy. It's my favorite thing, medical thing. I think other than surgery, not like the pain part or my body being ripped open part, it's that I don't want to seem crazy for saying that. It's the moment when you have anesthesia. It's that moment where your body is already like asleep, but your mind is awake for like that 20 seconds, and there's no pain in the rest of your body. And since I live with constant pain, that 20 seconds is just like awesome, where hopefully that doesn't sound crazy. I think a lot of chronic ill people get that. I've seen posts about it before. But yeah, so she's putting me in classes for that instead of putting me with the physical therapist, because that's what I was having trouble with. The physical therapist kept leaving. And so she's putting me with an aquatic instructor in the classes, and they're cheaper, but there's a few more people in the pool with you. It's a small pool, but there's a few more people in the pool with you rather than 2 or 3. There's like 6 or 7. And so I'm gonna start doing that. And then I went to my GI doctor this afternoon. And and my pain, Stephanie, she ordered a ton of blood tests, and since I changed my diet and everything, she wants to make sure all my nutritional levels are balanced and okay, and she wants to make sure I'm not showing any positive ANAs, or my side rate isn't high and stuff like that, because of the arthritis factor. So I went for that, and I'll put a picture up here. Basically, they took, I think there's 19 or 20 in this picture, but they took 22. Some of them had to be on ice, so they weren't in the picture. But yeah, they took a lot of blood from me, and so I'm very tired, even more tired now because I did that. And then I went to my GI doctor, and you know, I've had this pain for 2 years. You know, this dull pain that acts up. It was really bad in the beginning. That was right after I had gotten off Lupron Depo, and it came out of nowhere. I was on my period, and came out of nowhere. I was hospitalized for 7 or 8 days, and couldn't figure out what was wrong. But it's been constantly dull, and it would act up, flare up at times. But then, you know, a few weeks ago, I already made a video about this. A few weeks ago, it got really bad. I was in the ER and stuff, and I think that was probably the worst it's been. And that was on my period, and we think it's due to my period. We think it's extrapelvic endometriosis, and you know, there isn't a test that can say, oh yeah, that pain right there is endometriosis. The only way to prove that is to go into surgery. And so, he talked to my GYN, and he said that she's thinking about doing a lap, and it'll be my 3rd one. And if she does do it, he wants a general surgeon to go in and explore my upper abdominal region and probably my diaphragm and up into my thoracic cavity. So that will probably be a thing. We don't know when yet. He's afraid the surgeon's just gonna want to do it because he's a surgeon. So I have to talk to him before I book anything. But, so that's not good news. My stomach stuff hasn't been good, even though I changed my diet and everything. So we are kind of gonna wait on the general surgeon to see what happens there. And while I was at my GI doctor, I asked him about, you know, where can I get, you know, pain medication, because what I have isn't working, and the person who was prescribing stuff for me retired. So I'm shut out of luck until I see that specialist in probably a year and a half. And yeah, he's like, what about your pain person? I was like, they're alternative therapy, so they don't believe in painkillers, but I do. I need something that works. I'm hoping to get something that's like extended release, because I'm on Norco and it's not doing anything for me. So he gave me a few names of people that would be like primary care physicians, and yeah, I told him my therapist will call whoever it is and, you know, confirm that it's not a substance abuse problem, it's not a 21-year-old trying to score, you know, because apparently that's what most people think when they look at us, and, you know, with our canes and our cracking bones, like, but yeah, so hopefully I can get in with them. I'll surrender my Norco. I don't care. I'll throw it away. I'll give it to them if they want me to, but I need something that will work. I shouldn't have to ration when I can take my pain meds because I can't get a reliable, steady prescription. It's bullshit. I don't understand. But anyway. So my throat is hurting from talking so much because this is the second time I've had to record this video. And I'm tired and my medicine is kicking in. And I am gonna work on the insecurities video. I think that's a big thing with us and people not getting it. So I'm gonna kind of gear it more towards other people, for other people to understand rather than towards you guys. About us, about our chronic illnesses being one of our biggest insecurities. So it'll probably not be like an update setting, it'll probably be more, you know, creative than this. So yeah, I'm gonna go rest and gonna think about what I'm gonna do for Invisible Illness Awareness Week. Probably a video, but maybe I'll surprise you guys and do the shit people say video. But yeah, I promise I'll get more videos out. I'm sorry this is a long update video, but I had to get it all out and I wasn't gonna spend my time typing a huge long Tumblr post or something. So, you guys are updated and I will let you guys know, you know, if I end up in the ER because of my period or whatever this weekend. And, yeah. I hope you guys are feeling okay and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye!